Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world or whatever time you'll be watching this video. So, guys, I just recently came across this video that popped up in my timeline, and I ended up watching, and it it just shook something in me. Um, the heading or the title of the video that popped into my timeline. All right, so the title of the video was I Married a Monster. And you have this beautiful young lady sitting in her living room. She seems to be sitting on the floor and she, looks very sad and that she was crying. So I watched the video, and guys, let me tell you, a lot of times when you look at some of these social media influencers, and you think that everything is all perfect with their lives. You don't know what is happening behind the scenes, right? So basically, this young lady, and before I touch on this video that I watched, let me just give you a little backstory. So she calls herself, you know, um, the trophy wife, and basically she got married to her current husband in less than a year of meeting on one of those dating apps, and she considers herself to be a spoiled trophy wife. Even though, yes, she is a trophy wife, but she still has, she's well taken care of, but she also has um, her career and doing what she wants to, right? So she, her channel basically um, is about teaching other young ladies to become trophy wives and also bagging that rich husband and in getting, this massive rock to wear. Um, I, in that first video that I watched, I didn't really hear her stressing on, getting to know your partner and investing in the marriage and not just the wedding. She was more, along the lines of getting married quickly, becoming the trophy wife, and getting that big rock on your finger. As well as she also mentioned that she also assisted two of her sisters in, you know, getting the bag, getting married to wealthy men. And that is basically the whole premise of her channel. She was, she did say she had her first child at the age of 17 and her second child shortly thereafter. And she lived this lavish lifestyle, going to the spa, taking, expensive and exotic trips, driving, flashy cars, and just living the life of, this big, trophy wife, right? And um, so she had first kid at 17, another child shortly thereafter. Um, and those, relationships didn't work out. But anyways, fast forward to a few years, she was in a relationship, and her and that boyfriend were having issues. They broke up, but then she had gone on the date and met this, her current husband, who he proposed to her, I believe, after the first date. Well, anyways, after she broke up with her boyfriend, she called this husband and, telling him, mark you, they didn't know each other for very long. And she was saying that, She needed somewhere to live for a little bit because she just came out of a relationship, and if she could stay with him for at least about 2 weeks, and then he had said, well, no, if you're going to stay with me, then we're going to have to get married. So that was, within 2 weeks of knowing each other. Well, anyway, it goes on, and she went, to live with him, and eventually, they got married. So fast forwarding now to this video that I saw. Um, she recently gave birth to the couple's son. So now she has four children. So she recently gave birth to the couple's son. And what happened was that, she had gone to sleep, and then when she woke up, she took her now 4-year-old daughter to change her. When she woke up, and then she went to change her, 4-year-old daughter, when she was about to wipe the baby, um, the baby was very sensitive, and and a little swollen or bruised. So she was very, very shocked and taken aback at, for the young baby. So she asked the baby what had happened to her. And guys, I would not wish this on anyone. I would not wish this on anyone, no matter the circumstances nor the relationship that we've had. The 4-year-old baby then told her that daddy did it. Now, guys, can you imagine how devastating that must be for the little baby? And then now for the mom to know that her husband did something to her baby. So she chronicled, that she took the baby first to one hospital, but then they had to go to a second hospital because that first hospital didn't do that kind of testing. Then, they took them to the second hospital, and that is when, you know it was revealed that I don't think there wasn't organ penetration, but apparently there was finger. So now, you know, this has traumatized the baby so much, and now this is the end of this relationship now because of what has happened to this baby. Um, so she didn't go into more details on, charges or um, any. She didn't give give any details on the legal issues, but she just just wanted us to know, like, what had happened to her, and that her channel was changing. And it basically brings to the forefront of our minds that when we are going the relationship into relationships in general, I know that sometimes you do have the odd relationships that do work out, love at first sight, and some of them do work out, but in the grand scheme of things, we don't know who these persons are that we're getting involved in. And I'm not bashing her because, no one knows, and the only person that should be should be bashed is the the husband. I would never bash the mom nor the baby. Well, I could never bash the baby. My gosh. But, you know, we need to make sure that when we're going into relationships, we have to do our due diligence and, you know, do some research into who we're getting into bed with. Although sometimes, whether it's male or female, sometimes they can hide themselves very well. Because this gentleman, he is 20 years her senior. And I'm sure she probably would have thought, well, she has said that she has dated an older guys before. She has dated a guy 10 years her senior before, and then now this gentleman is 20 years her senior. So I'm sure she probably was thinking that, well, this is an older gentleman, so he probably has his head screwed onto his body and he should be, um, you know, all the way okay upstairs, which obviously it is not. But honestly, this goes to show us that, everything, not everything that is, flashy and glittery is, you know, all that's good. And we need to do our, due diligence into choosing partners and looking more into whom, um, we're, getting into bed with, and don't rush to be in any relationship. So now her whole channel was about, teaching women how to be the trophy wife and how to, bag that rich husband. So, and she has sold, podcasts and sessions on teaching women on how to get this. But now her brand at this point now, you know, her baby is scarred, yes, but right now her brand is in the pits because how are you going to now be teaching women how to become a trophy wife when this has happened to you? Again, not all men are the same, and we can't use one blanket, for all men, but, oh, you know, we just need to, delve deeper into, whichever partners that we're getting involved with, whether male or female. And, you know just ensure that, especially if you have kids, because she did say that she was a product of RAPE, right? So if you have outside kids, especially, and you're going into new relationships, it's best to make sure we know who we're getting into bed with, because we have to make sure that we safeguard our children. We have to safeguard ourselves first, but make sure as well, or first, but make sure we safeguard our children. And my advice is that she should not check only the 4-year old who has the issue, but to check all the kids, because we don't know if anything happened with the other kids, which I'm sure that, protection services, child protection services, or whomever would more than likely give advice, to check the other kids. But, I just hope and pray that the little baby, will get the counseling and will get the help that she needs going further. I hope that the mom can heal, from this ordeal, knowing that, this happened to her baby, and that basically she brought this gentleman you know, into their lives. And, I just hope that for the sake of them, that the mom can protect her remaining kids. And she just had a baby, so we know that she's very emotional, and it must be very heartbreaking for her. But ladies, please make sure we do our due diligence, and always make sure that we check our kids, make sure that our kids are good. Always talk to our kids, and just make sure that you know you foster a relationship where your kids can talk to you no matter what, so that you can always be there for your kids. All right, so again, my heart goes out to this mom. And just hope and pray for the kids, especially the little baby. Until the next video, guys, please comment and like, share, and subscribe in this video, and you know give me your thoughts on this topic.